Supreme Court today came down hard on both Punjab and Tamil Nadu governors after the state governments accused them of delaying action on bills cleared by the assemblies. The bench, led by Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, urged both the governors to not delay the bills that have been cleared by the elected governments. Please don't deflect the course of bills passed by a duly elected assembly. It's a matter of very serious concern, is what the Chief Justice said. He even went on to say, you're playing with fire. How can the governor say this? The Punjab government had earlier moved the Supreme Court, alleging a delay in Governor Bhanwari Lal Purohit's giving assent to bills passed by the state assembly. The police said such unconstitutional inaction has brought the entire administration to a grinding halt. Well, let's go across to Sunil Prabhu now for more. And Sunil, give us more details, because this has been, a very an ongoing issue for quite some time now in states led by opposition parties. We've seen, very often the state government and the governors have been head to head.
That's right, Gargi, a very, very disturbing trend. And it's something that the Supreme Court has come down very heavily and made it very clear to the Tamil Nadu governor that this is a serious concern. And in the case of the Punjab governor, they have even given an order and a ruling saying that whatever decision has been passed by the assembly has to be accepted. You cannot say that the house wasn't prorogued, and that's the reason for not withholding your assent, and making it clear to the governor, Mr. Purohit, that he must act as per the legal provisions, because ultimately the power is with the people. The power is with the assembly. The power is where the people who are elected. Please remember, the governors are presidential nominees. They are not elected people. And the disturbing trend has been, as you rightly pointed out, that opposition states, the governors have started acting in a manner in which it is not appropriate and undermining the democratically elected governments at the state level. And it's in that backdrop that today's one, of course, is an order in the Punjab governor's case, asking him to take action immediately. In the case of where assent is required, saying that whatever was done in the assembly was legislatively and constitutionally correct. And on the other, asking, of course, postponing it, but making it very clear that it is a serious concern on how the Tamil Nadu governor has been handling and representing certain issues and the pendency of bills in that state.
All right, Sunil, stay on with us. We also have Sam Daniel. And Sam, so this will be a huge relief for the Tamil Nadu government, because we've been seeing, this back and forth between the governor and the state government for quite some time now.
That's right, Gargi, because more than a dozen bills passed by the Tamil Nadu Assembly remain pending with the governor. Although the governor can send them back, he has chosen to keep them in abeyance. That means the Assembly can't even reiterate by adopting it again and sending it back to the governor, making it mandatory for him to accept. And many of these bills actually attempt to clip the powers of the governor over appointments of vice chancellors, Gargi, to the state universities. And while this could actually impact the governor's role and powers, the governor has chosen to be the judge on subjects on himself. And that's something the ruling DMK and the Tamil Nadu Assembly members actually find it unacceptable, saying that the governor can choose to send them back, but to keep it indefinitely pending, that doesn't augur well for democracy. And earlier, the governor had once kept the Assembly waiting for a long time when the Tamil Nadu Assembly had passed the bill seeking exemption from NEET, the mandatory entrance test for medical admission. After pressure, the Assembly sent it back, and he then took time and forwarded ultimately to the central government. It's still pending. So in this context, if something that would really make the governor act on the basis of the Supreme Court order, that will be seen as a huge shot in the arm for the ruling dispensation, and also perhaps set a broader framework for governors across India. The ruling DMK has been accusing that governors, particularly in opposition-ruled states, behave in this kind of what they call taking a confrontational stand, undermining the elected government, and in a sense they say running a parallel government, humiliating and sometimes undermining the government in place. And now if something happens, that will be seen as a huge victory. and we'll have to wait and see what ultimately happens. But earlier, at least in the case of states like Telangana, the moment the state had gone to the Supreme Court, the governor had immediately cleared files. But in this case, that did not happen. The ruling DMK will be waiting to see something happening based on the developments in the Supreme Court, Gargi.
That's right. The Supreme Court coming down quite strictly, wrapping both the Tamil Nadu and Punjab governors. Let's go across to Ghazali also for more. And Ghazali, in Punjab as well, we've seen this sort of feud running, between the governor as well as the Aam Aadmi Party led government in the state.
Yeah, certainly, as Sam was suggesting, this is a huge shot in arm for the Aam Aadmi Party, because in Punjab, at least the Chief Minister, the Punjab government has locked horns with the governor, and this is not just limited to the recent petition which was heard by the Supreme Court over not giving approvals to the bills, as well as sort of not giving permission to holding assembly sessions in Punjab. Now, this was clubbed together in one petition, and that's why the Supreme Court had remarked that who has given the power to governor to not give assent to the bills, and then the Supreme Court also talked about the constitutional powers of both governor and the government, that these are public representatives who have assembled in the assembly, and this will also hamper the democracy and all. But Gargi, this is not just one-off incident between the tussle between the Punjab government and the governor. Governor's powers are being argued by the state government when governor has been visiting the border districts of Punjab. And since Aam Aadmi Party has come to power in Punjab, the governor has been raising some very pertinent issues of Punjab, but whether that comes under his purview or powers is being debated. The Punjab government or the Aam Aadmi Party feels that he is infringing upon the powers of the state government, and he should not be issuing those statements, because the governor has been raising the issue of illegal mining. The governor has been raising the issue of rampant drug abuse in Punjab. And also, it all culminated or reached a final tipping point when he didn't give his assent to the bills, which were to be passed in a 2-day session held last month, in October. On October 20th and 21, a 2-day session was called by the Punjab government. The bills were not approved by the governor. That's why the 2-day session came to an abrupt end. Now, it is certainly a big booster for Aam Aadmi Party, which has been in tussle with governor. Now we'll have to also see that how governor reacts, or the governor's office reacts, or whether they issue any clarification or a statement regarding the Supreme Court's judgment.
That's right. So we're still waiting to see, what the reaction will be. But a very, very strong statement coming from the Chief Justice himself, saying you're playing with fire. Sam, in Tamil Nadu as well, the same as in Punjab, a huge boost for the state government. But we're still waiting to see how the governors will react. And this has been an issue, as you said, even in Telangana and Kerala as well. As we know, and West Bengal, of course, is where I think all this began in recent years. But still waiting to find out whether all those bills that are pending with the governor will now be finally passed, and the state governments can proceed.
That's right, Gargi. In a sense, it's unprecedented. Even though the Supreme Court may rule, we don't know how the governor's office, the Raj Bhavan, would actually respond. They can still, in a sense, choose to be defined, in a sense, as many people say there could be a possibility of this kind. We should clearly wait and see how the Raj Bhavan responds, because in the case of the Tamil Nadu governor, at least, he had shown no hastiness at all in terms of clearing the bills when the state moved the Supreme Court. Earlier, when the state cabinet had, for example, recommended the release of all the convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case who had spent in jail more than 25 years, the governor had chosen to not sign the bill, and ultimately they had to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court had to use its own exclusive powers to release Perarivalan. That, in the long term, in the months to come, pave way for the release of others as well. So we should really wait to see whether the government will abide by the Supreme Court, or will he still choose to be claiming immunity in a sense, and to take his own stand. That's something we'll have to wait and watch.